3, 2, 1.
It's the highlight of my career.
My whole body is seizing up.
I'm gonna finish, for sure. But right now, I'm dying inside. I'm embarrassed, I'm frustrated. Hey, VC here. So we're talking about my experience at the 206 Unbound gravel race. That 6 matters. Everyone just calls it the 200, but there's 6. Anyway, we're talking about gravel. So on the pre-rides, I kind of came across 3 different types of gravel. Really hard packed, this sort of loosey-goosey on top, and then the real chunky monkey. Okay, so we're out here pre-riding, and the first 10 to 15 miles, it's pretty hard packed, right? I mean, this is basically road in certain sections, right? But this is what it gets to be, is just these massive, massive rocks. And you'll see that some of them are razor sharp. That's why you get flats out here, is that these pieces of gravel have been cut in half.
We're about to get cut in half.
So let's talk about the bike. Now, I'm riding the new Canyon Grizzle. I prefer to be on my personal bike, the Canyon Grill. I love this bike, but Canyon has the new release of the Grizzle, so they want me on there. Also, I'm a great guy, and my buddy Travis doesn't have a bike. So I'm letting him ride my Grail. I'm riding the new Canyon Grizzle, which is a much beefier bike, right? Can fit way wider tires. So let's kind of break this down. So the bike is the Canyon Grizzle. I've also got IRC tires, a 40 in the rear, a 42 in the front. I'm fueled by Flow. I've also got some saddlebags, one from Appadura. I'm running the TT bars. Also later, I wore a camel pack. Now, I only got 1 day to ride on this bike. I actually really liked it, but let's talk about the hitters because there's so many. So now on the female side, we have Lauren, who actually ended up winning the race. We've got Izzy, we've got Amity, we also have Kathy Pruitt, we also have Jess and Allison. I mean, they're just commonplace at these big events. But for the men's, it's such a stacked field. We have 3 active World Tour pros. We have Quinn, we have Keel, we have Mateo. Keel in the middle there from Trek actually ran like 18 miles or something. Then we have ex-World Tour pros like Lawrence, Ian, Ted, Peter. Then you have past winners like Colin, and then you have Dylan and Jeremiah and Eddie and Travis and Payson. The list goes on of hitters. Now, it would be cool to hear their story, but you're going to hear the story from an annoying vegan who's way overhyped. So for the first 30 miles, it is full gas. Everyone's really racing to stay up front. And if you're on the front, it's pretty chill. But if you're sort of in the back, you know, it can get real sketchy. And so everyone's trying to stay, you know, as far up front as possible. Now there's 930 something riders registered for the 200. I would say there's probably close to 200 that are really trying to race. Now, there was flats and crashes constantly. I never really got any on camera, but just this first 30 miles, just surviving it, which a lot of people didn't do, it was kind of crazy. And so, you know, there's a little bit of luck involved with racing, right? But you got to sort of make your own luck. So I'm trying to be as far up front as I possibly can so that I can get as lucky as possible, right? Give myself an opportunity to really race here. Now, what's so crazy about gravel racing and what I love the most is look at this. I'm riding next to Quinn Simmons, Lawrence Tandam, Peter Stetna, Eddie Anderson. This is insane. So I'm just trying to keep it super cool, not trying to breathe super deep, right? I want to make everyone look like, oh, dude, I'm cool. And I'm also riding next to Mateo Jorgensen, legit Movistar. I mean, this is insane. Lawrence Tandam gives me the thumbs up. I frame it. I put it next to the wall next to Ted King's thumbs up, some carrots I cooked, my verified button, and a $25 Applebee's card that I won during a preem. So I have made the front of this race. I am so excited. This is like literally the highlight. There's Ian Boswell. He won.
It's the highlight of my career.
So now an event of this caliber can be super intimidating. I mean, look at this dude's quad. That's insanity, like quad goals. And so usually I would feel way out of place. I would feel that I don't belong here. But one of the things that my sports psychologist had told me and taught me while I was coming back from my injury is to reframe my thoughts, right? So you have thoughts, you have ideas, and then you have behaviors, and they all sort of feed into each other. And so here I reframed my thought that I don't belong, and that, you know, I just, the caliber of riders here way beyond me. I reframed that thought into, you know, that they're all just humans. Everyone here's a human, I'm a human, we all have legs, we all have hearts, and I put in the work. So, you know, despite on how I might finish, I'm gonna give myself the best opportunity mentally. Like, I mentally belong here, and I'm going all in. And that sort of changed my whole perspective on this race. And to be honest, it made it way more enjoyable. It made it way more enjoyable that I sort of broke down this like pedestal that I personally put all these riders on. Like when I see a Red Bull helmet, I get so intimidated, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Here, I sort of just like, everyone's a rider, and I'm just trying to pass everyone. But look, with all that being said, you can be mentally as healthy and as motivated as you want and not have skill, right? So this section is starting to take a lot of skill. It's starting to take a lot of trust in your bike. You kind of get into these 2-lane roads, right? These kind of ruts. And then the gravel just started getting extremely angry, and you don't want to flat. So you can't just fully send it into these sections, or else, you know what I mean, you're gonna flat or crash. And so it started getting a little bit hairy, and the front group split. So now there's a gap, and I have a decision to make. I can either A, settle in and just do my pace for the next 170 miles, or I can risk it for the biscuit.
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
We made it back on. Look. Neat.
This next section is where it's the most technical. It was extremely fast, and you really had to be on your P's and Q's. And so we hit this little town, and there's like a side-by-side on the front of the group getting some shots because they were supposed to be live streaming it, and everyone chased that side-by-side, and the race just completely ignited from this point. I'm probably sitting like top 40 or 50, and it's just gaps are opening everywhere. The gravel is getting extremely chunky, so it's really hard to keep your bike straight. And again, you have to ride in a certain way to not get a flat. So you kind of have to like hover on your seat, because if you just power and you just don't even look where you're riding, so many people are getting flats. And every time I saw someone with a flat on the side of the road, I was thinking, okay, don't do that. And I know this doesn't look like much, right? The GoPro 9 stabilization is unbelievable. This looks like it's super smooth. It's not. I mean, these roads are chunky, they're difficult. There's like these little lines that you don't see until the very last minute. There's Dylan Johnson flying. He got a flat earlier, actually. A very impressive ride. Again, these little sections that like, they're pinch points, and only one person can go at a time. So being far up front allows you to sort of see this stuff. Here, like I didn't see this little gap. I hit that thing square so hard. But so the field is just blown apart, right? Everyone is full gas racing, and I'm left with this decision and this sort of battle between, you know, my mind and my ego saying go, and my legs saying chill, you know, and so who do I listen to? Do I listen to my legs? Do I listen to my mind?
You got to chill.
Y'all thought wrong. I'm just gonna keep on sending it.
not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
So I bridged as many gaps as I could, and I basically ended up connecting with like the second group on the road. But Jeremiah Bishop, he had gotten a flat super early on and caught this group of guys who were full on racing. And he just sort of rode by everyone, and it was like a Fabian Cancellara type thing where you're just looking at him riding, you're like, I don't understand how he's going so fast. He doesn't even look like he's trying. So everyone's trying to get on Jeremiah's wheel. Everyone's sort of losing it. Quinn Simmons, bloody face, knee split wide open. And I'm like, whoa, dude, what happened there? That can't be good. Everyone said Quinn was going to win this hands down. And so this section right here actually caused a ton of wrecks. Some people got concussions in this spot. And I know if you're a mountain biker, you're looking at this as, this is no big deal. But like right here, there's like a triple. You can't see it. And if you're flying and you're on someone's wheel and you don't see that stuff, I mean, it can really catch you off guard. And so, you know, a lot of people that were trying to stay with the front, man, they got messed up. Right here, I'm on the TT bars. Let me talk about the TT bars for a second. They're cheating. I mean, it was such a huge advantage to have those TT bars on. I could not believe it. I mean, it saved me so much. On these downhills here, especially these downhills, you could get in the TT position and just rail. So I'm feeling super good. We caught Travis actually. So this is me right here. I might be doing the best 100 miles I've ever done.
Hey, over there! Hey! Go for a battery. Go for a battery. I already took it out. I need one out. Keep going up. Bottles.
I'll grab your bike.
Go. All right, go.
So here I get my camel pack. Now there's only 2 rest stops on the whole course, right? That makes this race very difficult because you can't get the nutrition that you want when you want it. There are some neutral water stops, but for the most part, there's one at like 60 miles and then there's one at like 150 that you actually get fueling. So here I am with my camel pack, and we are with, I would say maybe like the third group on the road now. Like there's the front group, then there's a chase group, and then there's us. So we're sitting top 30 to 20 right now, and I'm feeling really good about that, and I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling like a freaking $1,000,000. I'm usually the weakest in a group. This group here, not only was it full of strong guys, but I was contributing to pulling. I was just doing really well. I belonged here, like that mindset where I belong here. And so I was also trying to give some encouragement to the other guys.
Stay in it, man. Come on. Stay in it.
But then around the 100-mile mark, I started just feeling exactly the same way I did in 2019, where my stomach was no longer absorbing anything and I couldn't eat or drink because I felt like puking, which was so frustrating because I've never had these kind of issues before ever on any place ever other than here in Kansas. And the only thing I can think of is that when I threw that camel pack on, I was so thirsty, it was so hot, that I couldn't stop drinking. It was just too easy to bring on too much fluid at one time. Now, you're gonna say, bro, it's a vegan excuse. You just went too hard, you blew yourself up. Cool. I know what blowing myself up feels like, and I know what coming back from that is. I've been able to completely annihilate myself physically, and then you can still ride and you can still eat, and that's a thing. But when the stomach completely shuts down, there's very little you can do. And so what I think happened is that I just drank way too much in such a short period of time. I probably took in over 200 grams of carbs and like, I don't know, 500 calories, 600 calories or something like that in such a short period of time, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And so right now I'm starting to die inside. And everyone, that group that I was just barely hanging on to, they stopped at one of the neutral water stops. But my camel pack is still about a quarter way full, and I can't drink or eat anything right now. So I actually used that opportunity to jump up to this next group, hoping that I was gonna get better, and I just didn't. And I just didn't have the power, and I just kept falling off. And I'm getting so frustrated at this point because guys are flying by me. And so now it's sort of a waiting game for my stomach to come back. And the only thing I can think of at this moment is just get to the next rest stop. And look, obviously I'm not like a physically gifted athlete. I'm not even really an athlete. But the thing that especially this year, that I have learned is just the mental strength that we all have. And if you reframe your thoughts in a positive light, I know it's cheesy to say, but dude, you can really do anything. And right here, I'm dying. I don't want to do this. I'm thinking of every possible excuse to just quit.
It's like a carbon copy of what happened in 2019, dude. My stomach is just, I don't understand. I just can't absorb anything, man. It's so frustrating.
So look, you know that I'm not like a fantastic athlete, and I can't really tell you how to win a crit or how to set up your bike right. I don't know much, but I can tell you this, is that when you are in the moment where you want to quit, every molecule of your body says stop. That you have to just find something about future you. Put yourself into the future mindset of that when this is over, how are you going to feel then? And that projection into the future is something that I use to help me get through these moments where, dude, I'm so freaking embarrassed, bro. I don't want to make this video. I don't want to see anyone. I just want to vanish, right? I just want to act like this never happened. Because this is the second time this has happened here. And so all I'm thinking about is, dude, just make it to the rest stop and then lay down and just go from there. Take it one step at a time. But I know future me is going to be so much happier that I finished. And so that's all I have to think about, is be future me.
Fuck, man. Jump in. It's just... Oh, it's stuck. My whole body is seizing up. This is it. This is how it ends.
Anyways, I'm gonna finish, for sure. But right now, I'm dying inside. I'm embarrassed, I'm frustrated. I have all the negative feelings. And this guy rode by and he just said, just keep pedaling and eventually you'll be there at the finish. And I was like, how dare you use my motivation against me?
So what I do is I put like hot sink water in there,
Dude.
shake it.
Another huge thing is to never have quitting even be an option. If that's an option, if that's even how you started the ride thinking, oh, well, I'll just see how far I can make it, you'll never finish. That can't be your mindset. When my brain is going through all of the different ways to stop this pain, to stop this misery, if quitting is an option, that's going to be the option that I go with. But for me personally, quitting is never an option. I will finish, no matter how long it takes me, no matter how much it sucks. Future me is so much happier that I finished. So I'm gonna get on the bike, I'm gonna keep going forward, and I'm just gonna keep pedaling. And we're gonna see where that takes me.
I now have two best friends. Second best friend, what's your name? Mark and Ethan, right? Yeah. F***ing homies till we die. I lost my two best friends. I gotta go find some more best friends. I have turned a new leaf in my life. I am flying right now.
At this point, I literally just tried to forget everything that has happened until this point. And now I am rolling. I couldn't believe the turnaround that I had had, because in 2019, I never got this. I never felt any better. But for whatever reason, the stomach completely cleared and I was able to just start putting some power down. And this is what's so crazy is, dude, I wanted to quit so bad. And if I had, I wouldn't have known that this was inside of me. Like, I could have done this.
We only got 10 miles left, buddy. I did not think I was gonna be able to finish. I am so happy.
So bro, when those demons are just pegging your mind and all you can think about is the easy route, right? The path of least resistance, which is quitting, getting in the car, calling it a day. you got to try to remember that when you get to the finish line, for some reason, rejuvenates you unlike anything else possible. So we roll into the final finish. We're about 13 hours into this thing. The crowd is cheering. It's unbelievable. And this is why you keep going. This is why you don't quit. So I finished 63rd overall, 13 hours, 4 minutes. Obviously that's not a result that I'm happy with, but I finished. I overcame some serious adversity, and that for me, I'm chalking that up as a fantastic day on the bike. So the triangle of thoughts to ideas to actions and back around, that is how I was able to finish. I reframed my negative thoughts, right? It started off with, hey, I belong here, I'm going for it, I'm gonna get a good result. And once that was no longer the case, if I kept dwelling on the fact that I wasn't gonna get top 10, that would have mentally cracked me and I probably would have quit, because now the goal, I'm not gonna obtain my goal. So I have to reframe my thought and my goal here, which was now just to finish. And I don't care if people are going to talk smack and tell me I'm a weak vegan and all that. Like, what can I do in this moment? And in this moment, I can't get top 10, but I can not quit. I can finish. And no matter how crappy I feel inside, bro, I've never quit anything. So that's what I'm going to do. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Flow Formulas. They supported me a ton during this. They actually got me out to this race. I want to say a huge thanks to Cask, getting me an amazing helmet. Canyon, obviously, that Grizzle was a fantastic bike. I'll be riding that in future episodes of the Impossible route. But also a huge thanks to you and to everyone who gave me encouragement out there at the race. It honestly made all the difference. Anyways, as always, guys, vegan cyclist. Yeah.